Welcome along to my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. This is the check-in point that I normally do at the end of July. Although that being said, given the fact that we're already half the year is already over, it was at the beginning of July, I'm kind of now debating whether from 2027 onwards, when we get to halfway through the year, whether I should actually do the top 20 movies of 2027 so far at the end of June. Let me know in the comment section down below, okay? But that being said though, I'm going to do my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. This is the check-in point where I reveal my top 20 movies of the year. And then obviously when we get to December, when we get to around about New Year's Eve, I then reveal the complete top 20 movies of 2026. So that's going to happen. Anyway, so I'm just going to get through with it and we're going to start with number 20. Number 20. Number 20 is Evil Dead Burn, by the way, and I'm going to say now, I enjoyed Evil Dead Burn. I thought it was good, actually, you know. Do I think it was better than Evil Dead Rise? Probably not. I mean, I should really do some horror movie rankings, maybe, of franchises that I've watched and stuff. Maybe I should, and I could actually properly rank these, like, franchises and stuff. But I would definitely put Evil Dead Rise above Evil Dead Burn. But that being said though, this was still an enjoyable watch. I mean, for dog lovers, by the way, yeah, just be warned, okay, for dog lovers out there, okay? But that being said, I do appreciate the cinematography, the camera work, the characters being developed. I mean, I felt like the ending was a little bit silly. It kind of gave off Stranger Things, Vecna kind of vibes, in a way. But that being said, I still enjoyed Evil Dead Burn and it is in my top 20. Number 19. Number 19 is Over Your Dead Body. Now, this one's a streaming release, and I will spoilers here, but there is a few streaming releases on here that I will say now are in my top 20. But that being said, this being the first of the streaming releases that's in my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. That being said, I mean, look, I enjoyed it. Jason Segel and Samara Weaving, you know, they're a couple and they are trying to, I don't know, they're not really trying to, like, fix their relationship. I think, if anything, they're setting out to kill one another. But that being said, this film does have a couple of twists in it, and, you know, it does have a couple of, like, flashbacky kind of moments in it, and the comedy is there as well, and I do appreciate this one as well. So that's why this is at number 19. Number 18. And then we've got number 18, which is Swapped. Now, this one was done by Michael B. Jordan, and this is actually a film that you can stream over on Netflix. And this one took me by surprise when I watched this. The animation in this is wonderful. The colours in this are great as well, and I think Michael B. Jordan did a really good job with doing this film. And, you know, given the fact that this is a streaming release, it's a shame, because I think even if this came out in cinemas earlier this year, I genuinely would have thought that this film would have done really well at the box office, you know, especially because it is a family-friendly film. But it got a streaming release, I still watched it, I still appreciate it for what it's worth, and that's why it's made it to the top 20 movies of 2026 so far. Number 17. This one is another streaming release, and this is at number 17. Remarkably Bright Creatures. This one was quite a sweet film, I'm not gonna lie. This one was actually a really sweet film, and it was very wholesome as well. I mean, you're probably sitting here now watching this top 20 movies of 2026 so far list, and you're probably thinking to yourself, why is this not even higher on your list? You know, why is this at number 17? Well, I mean, look, I appreciate the film for what it's worth. It is a very wholesome film. But I mean, just be grateful that this is on my top 20, okay? Just be grateful. I mean, that could all change, but I don't really want this to come off my top 20 movies of 2026 at the end of the year. I'm kind of worried that it probably will end up coming off my top 20 movie. If there's any other good films that come out this year that, like, top this, I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared for the second half of the year. But, look, appreciate the fact this is at number 17. Appreciate the fact it's in my top 20. Number 16. And then we have number 16, which is Send Help. I mean, look, this is a film that I went and watched at the cinema around about 3 months into the year, or even 4 months into the year. And I watched this for the first time before it left cinemas, and then I got it to watch again on digital, even though this was going to be on Disney Plus. And when it comes to films that are on Disney Plus, I never buy them on digital, but as soon as it came out on digital, I had to buy it to keep and to go back and re-watch it again, because I enjoyed this that much. And, you know, I'm kind of sad that I didn't actually watch this, like, in the early days of it being theatrically released. I ended up watching it just before it left cinemas, which I kind of kicked myself afterwards, admittedly. But I still appreciate this, by the way. Sam Raimi, Send Help, brilliant film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Number 15. And then we have number 15, which is Roommates. Roommates does star Chloe East, and it does also star Sadie Sandler as well, the daughter of Adam Sandler, by the way. And can I just say, this one took me by surprise. This really did take me by surprise. You know, I did watch this as a new release on Netflix, and I was surprised that this one, I actually enjoyed this. Like, I really, really did enjoy this. This is basically about Sadie Sandler's character getting a roommate from hell. And you know what? I really do appreciate this film for what it's worth. Definitely would rewatch this again. Possibly may rewatch this one again later in the year. We'll see what happens. But for now, though, it's at number 15. Number 14. And then we have number 14, which is quite nostalgic. It's Hannah Montana's 20th anniversary special. Yeah, I mean, it is bizarre to find that this special is in my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. This could get removed at the end of the year. It could, okay? But for now, for the first half of the year, I enjoyed this special that much. It was nostalgic that much that I thought, you know what, I will just put it in my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. Even though this isn't a movie as such, this is more of a documentary, but I'll class it as a movie for now. I mean, I'm not holding any problem. I'm not saying that this is staying in my list. This could go, okay? This could go, this could get booted to number 20. This could even leave the top 20. But for now, it's in my top 20. Streaming now on Disney Plus. Number 13. Number 13. We have the Super Mario Galaxy movie. This one, I mean, this is so bizarre because I think I rated the Super Mario Bros. Movie 5 stars. And this one, on Letterboxd, and this one I rated around about 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. It wasn't as great as the Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out in 2023. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know if it was just sequelitis or it was just the fact that I found this one to be a bit more, like, more child-friendly, more than just your average family-friendly film. I genuinely don't know. I mean, look, I'll be honest, I have still got this film on my digital purchase list. You know, I have bought this film to keep on digital on Amazon, and I did recently go back and rewatch it again, and it is still a fun film. The animation I still appreciate and stuff, but I just don't think it was hitting the same kind of notes as what the Super Mario Bros. Movie did back in 2023. I mean, if they do make a third Mario film, I hope they do improve it a little bit more. But this one kind of played it safe a little bit and kind of kept it a little bit too child friendly, in my honest opinion. But look, it's still in my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. Number 12. At number 12 is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Now, I've got to say Lee Cronin's The Mummy because obviously I don't want you guys to get confused with the film called The Mummy that stars Brendan Fraser. And no, by the way, Brendan Fraser does not star in Lee Cronin's The Mummy. That being said, though, I really did appreciate Lee Cronin making this Mummy film. It kind of felt like he was carrying on a little bit with the Evil Dead Rise, but except Evil Dead go to Egypt in this one. I thought this was great, you know, and I loved it. I thought it was a really good film. That's why it's at number 12. Number 11. We have number 11, which is The Sheep Detectives. Now, this one did get a limited theatrical release, and it is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video around the world, I believe. So if you haven't yet checked out The Sheep Detectives, I do recommend checking it out because it is a brilliant film. You know, it kind of has this murder mystery kind of vibes, but it's kind of, you know, it's got the sheep trying to work out who the murderer is, and the village people, the people that live in the village as well, trying to work out who the murderer is of a farmer who obviously owned the sheep on the farm. But obviously, you know, this one was a great film. I mean, I think it is a little bit emotional. It does tug at the heartstrings a little bit, and I did appreciate that as well. And that is why The Sheep Detectives is at number 11. Number 10. Okay, we are in our top 10, and this is at number 10, Hoppers. Now, Disney Pixar did release 2 movies in 2026, both of them which, by the way, have already been released. Hoppers being one, Toy Story 5 being another. Now, I'm just going to stop right there and say, is Toy Story 5 in my top 10? Surprisingly, it isn't, which is bizarre. But, that being said though, Hoppers has made it into the top 10 of movies of 2026 so far, because I loved this film. I mean, it's surprising, I've only seen it once in cinemas. I know it is streaming on Disney Plus. I should go back and rewatch this again because it was a great film and I really did appreciate this a lot. So maybe I should do a rewatch of Hoppers at some point very soon on Disney Plus. But seeing this in cinemas earlier this year though, it was great. Really lovely story, and I highly recommend watching it. Number 9. So we're at number 9. Number 9 is Kane Parsons' Back Rooms. I mean, you're probably wondering, why is this at number 9? Why is this not even higher, you know? But there's some other good stuff that's come out so far this year that has been rated a lot higher in my top 10 list. But that being said though, Backrooms is there. I did appreciate it. I thought the acting performances in this were great. And as a matter of fact, fun fact, even though I've seen this film once in cinemas, it is available to buy and rent now on digital platforms here in the UK and over in the US as well. So if you haven't had the chance to go and catch Backrooms in cinemas or theatres, then definitely do catch it on digital platforms. I have actually recently watched 2 YouTubers, Alex Hefner and She's Scared, 2 YouTubers who do video reactions. I saw their reaction to Backrooms and it kind of made me appreciate this film a little bit more. And also as well, there is a few messages behind the film as well, which I didn't even realise on first watch, which the 2 YouTubers I saw reacting to this film kind of said. But also there's been a little bit of discourse or a little bit of conversation over on Twitter/X as well about this film. And they've kind of gone into a bit more of like the deeper meanings behind the film as well, and that kind of makes me appreciate Backrooms a little bit more. But anyway, it's at number 9 on my list. Number 8. It's time for us to grab our white gloves or white one-handed gloves, do a moonwalk to number 8, because that's right, at number 8 it's Michael. I must say I do appreciate this one at number 8, to be honest. I really do appreciate this film. I mean, this film is available to buy and rent now on digital platforms worldwide. Again, similar to Backrooms, or similar to any of the other films that I have reviewed so far, or said that's in my list so far. If you haven't yet checked any of these films out, feel free to go and either buy or rent them on digital platforms, or even go and check them out on streaming services where available, because honestly, Michael is another film that I do appreciate. Obviously, I do believe we are going to get a Michael Part 2, which probably tells maybe the other bits of his story leading up to his death back in 2009. I think is when he died. But that being said though, Michael is a really good film. Jafar Jackson is great as the role of Michael, and obviously there is that family connection there already. And there's also Coleman Domingo as well, who plays Michael's father. Again, you know, I thought that he did a fantastic role playing Michael's father. And even though Michael's father was quite abusive in this film, but, you know, I think Coleman Domingo did that, like, really well, like, portrayed it really well, and, you know, and also as well, you know, I think he made the role very believable. But anyway, that's Michael, and that is at number 8. Number 7. And here we are at number 7, and this is Epic, Elvis Presley in Concert. Now, this is by Baz Luhrmann. Now, Baz Luhrmann is no stranger to Elvis Presley. He did the biopic of Elvis that came out a few years ago, which starred Austin Butler as Elvis. And obviously this is a weird one, because when you look at the title, it says Epic Elvis Presley in Concert. Now naturally, and this is genuinely what I thought in my mind, was this was just going to be some sort of remastered Elvis Presley in concert. This is sort of like that, because there's elements to Elvis Presley in concert, but then there's also elements of like a documentary throughout the running time of this as well. So you're kind of getting partially both documentary and concert. But then even with the concert bits, like, it seems like they're taking bits and pieces from maybe 2 or 3 concerts that Elvis Presley did back in the day and stitching them together. It's really weird. But that being said though, I still appreciated this film for what it's worth. Obviously it's very interesting to learn the backstory of Elvis Presley, his career, and even a little bit of his personal life as well. So that is why that this is at number 7. Number 6. Number 6 appears to be probably the most controversial movie that I've got in my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. Because essentially, it's not even a film. I mean, it is literally just a one-off episode of a beloved TV show from back in the day. And I'm talking about The Muppet Show, which did star Seth Rogen, and it also starred Sabrina Carpenter. This came out, I believe this came out right at the beginning of the year. And I enjoyed this. I thought it was great. I've only watched it the once, admittedly. Maybe should go back and rewatch it again at some point. I mean, look, shoot me, okay, if you really want to, for this not being a film, you know. And this could have taken, you know, this could have been replaced with something even better. I mean, who knows? Maybe by the time we get to the end of 2026, maybe something else may take this spot. But for now, The Muppet Show, which starred Seth Rogen, Sabrina Carpenter, you know, obviously it's taken the 6th spot. But that being said, I'm really surprised because at the time, you know, there was a lot of TikToks about this going around. There was a lot of publicity about this going around as well. And it seemed like it was quite successful. I'm really surprised that we've not heard a peep about this being a full revival series yet from Disney. So I don't know whether or not they're going to actually revive the Muppet Show, make it into a full series, or whether this was a one-off. Very confusing. But anyway, this is at number 6. Number 5. And then we've got number 5, which is They Will Kill You. Now, Zazie Beetz, I was about to say Zaza, but Zazie Beetz does star in this film. It's kind of like an action horror film. I've seen, again, there's a lot of these films on this list, I will be honest, that I've only seen the once. Apart from, I'll be honest, the only films that I haven't seen once is Send Help and the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think, oh, and there is something else on this list as well, but I'm not going to spoil what that is just yet. But everything else on this list I've only seen once and once only. Maybe I should go back and rewatch them. It's kind of ironic that I'm doing a top 20 movies of 2026 so far, and yet there's only maybe a small handful of these films that I've only watched the once. But anyway, they have made it to my top 20 movies because I enjoyed them that much. They Will Kill You is definitely up there as one of them. It does have a quick, snappy runtime as well, by the way, of just over 90 minutes. Very simple, easy watch film to follow as well. That being said, though, I did appreciate this, and I definitely will go back and rewatch this one again at some point in the future. Number 4. Who said at number 4 that DJs don't dance no more? Because this former radio DJ right here, that's right, me, I used to be a radio DJ a long time ago, by the way. But this DJ right here does definitely dance, because he was bopping along to Harry Styles' One Night in Manchester, which is at 4th place. Now, this was a Netflix exclusive. It's still streaming over on Netflix, by the way. And I really enjoyed watching this, by the way. Obviously, this was when Harry Styles released his album, Kiss All The Time, Disco Occasionally, earlier this year. He did a little show in Manchester for fans, and obviously performed the entirety of that album for the fans over in Manchester, and he even did a couple of his other songs from his other albums as well, which again, really did appreciate. And I loved this. I thought it was great, you know. The camera work in this was great. Harry Styles in this was great as well. That's why he is at number 4. Number 3. We go from Harry Styles to Dua Lipa at number 3, because Dua Lipa, Live from Mexico, is at number 3. Now, if you are wondering where to watch Dua Lipa's Live from Mexico show, you can go and catch it over on YouTube, but don't leave this video just yet. I've got 2 more entries to show you guys before you go and check this one out, okay? But I must say, even though Dua Lipa did the full movie over on her YouTube channel, she released it for free. It is available to watch for free. But also as well, if you want to just watch some of the performances separately as separate videos, you've got the option to do that, because she has been uploading them as separate videos as well. But to see this in full, though, it is great. And that is why Dua Lipa is at number 3. Number 2. We have number 2. You know what, right? Number 2 is Project Hail Mary. And this film is streaming now on Amazon Prime Video around the world. I did buy this to buy and keep when it did get released on digital. And I haven't actually gone back and re-watched this, to be honest. You're probably sitting there wondering, Steve, why? Why is this at number? What could possibly be at number 1? Why is this film not at number 1 on your top 20 movies of 2026 so far? What has? I mean, look, I'll be honest, okay? this would have been at number 1. Okay, Ryan Gosling in this is great. The fact that this film is set in space, brilliant. The cinematography in this film was mind-blowing. Like, and I saw this on the big screen as well, you know? And also, you know, the fact that we had, like, this relationship between Ryan Gosling's character, Ryland Grace, and Rocky. I mean, I want a Rocky. Can someone please give me a Rocky? I want a pet Rocky. You know, after seeing this film, I want a Rocky. But I don't think I'm ever going to get one. You know. But that being said though, Project Hail Mary was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen it yourself, go and check this one out on Amazon Prime Video, because honestly, you'll be mind blown with this film. Like, you really, really would. You'll be mind blown with this film. But anyway, that's at number 2. Now, what could possibly be at number 1? I'll tell you after the sponsor of this video. It's Pepsi Max Cherry. No, I'm joking. Anyway, let's just see what film is at number 1. Number 1. At number 1, I'm obsessed with number 1. It feels like as if someone had broken a one-wish willow and made me obsess over number 1, because I'm talking about the film Obsession. Now, this film is a directorial debut for Curry Barker, who is a YouTuber, and I must say, right, this is the second director who is a YouTuber that's on this list of top 20 films of 2026 so far. And the reason I say that is because, obviously, when we did number 9, Backrooms, that was directed by Caden Parsons, who again is a YouTuber. But number 1 is a YouTuber in the form of Curry Barker directing Obsession, which stars Michael Johnston and Indy Navarrete, as well as Megan Flawless. No, not Megan Flawless. Megan Lawless. Sorry, that's my nickname because she is flawless. That's my nickname for Megan Lawless. Megan Lawless and Cooper Tomlinson as well stars in this film. So anyway, but that being said though, Obsession is my number 1. I don't know. It's gonna be so hard for any film coming out between now and December for that to replace number 1. I'm gonna be shocked. I'm gonna be absolutely shocked if something, doesn't matter what film it is, but something replaces Obsession at number 1 at the end of this year. You know, I'm not joking when I say this. I've seen this film 4 times since this film came out in May this year. Twice in cinemas, and twice when it came out on digital platforms. And the acting performance, especially from Indy Navarrete, by the way, I mean, damn. You know, like, damn. And also, for those of you out there that think that Nikki, who is played by Indy Navarrete, is the real villain in this film, go back and rewatch, because she isn't. You know, the actor Michael Johnston, who plays Bear in this film, is the real villain. You know, he's the real villain. So go back and rewatch if you've seen this already and you think that Nikki is the villain of the film. She isn't. It's Bear. Okay, it's Bear. I mean, all I can say is I feel bad for Nikki at the very end of the film. I could talk for hours about Obsession, okay, I really could. I'm sorry, that I've just spoken about number one for what, around about 3 minutes or nearly 4 minutes now, but I just want everyone to understand that Obsession is literally the most obsessed film that I've been obsessed about since May 2026, and I won't shut up about it. I really won't shut up about it. Anyway, but that is at number one. And that is my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. Like I mentioned, okay, I will do another top 20 movies of 2026, which obviously will come out at the very end of 2026. Scary. You know what, I must say, I'm very amazed with the fact that some of those films that I've got in my top 20 is on streaming. Some of them I've gone to go and see in the cinema, and I've appreciated that much, no matter how many times I've seen it, whether it be once or twice or even a handful of times. You know, some of them films on that list, I mean, I do appreciate the fact that I've watched them once, I've enjoyed them that much, that they've entered my top 20 movies of the year. Now, will that change? Well, I guess you'll have to tune in to part 2 at the end of the year to find out whether that is the case, whether they've stayed in the same place, whether they've moved up, or whether they've gone down, or if they've been completely taken off of my top 20 movies of the year. Find out at the end of the year. But that being said though, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and if you are new around here and you like what you see, feel free to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell as well, so it does notify you as to when I do upload a new video to my YouTube channel, SteveOfficial, on your smartphone or on your tablet. Now, I am just going to say this, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video. There is a discretion here, okay? I haven't seen every single film that has been released in 2026 so far, okay? I will list some of them off. Some of them are including The Odyssey, Pinocchio Unstrung. I haven't seen Finding Emily either. I haven't seen The Odyssey either, which actually, by the time this video goes, you know what, it'll be so funny if I enjoy The Odyssey that much that it should have ended up in my top 20 movies of 2026 so far, and it didn't. And it ends up in my top 20 movies of 2026 at the end of the year. That would be funny. But by the time this video goes out, I would have... No, actually, I wouldn't have seen it by the time this video goes out. I would see it. I'll be seeing that next week. There we are. But anyway, so there was The Odyssey. The Devil Wears Prada 2. I haven't seen that either. There's a few films on Netflix and even Amazon that I haven't seen. I haven't seen The Moment either. That came out earlier this year. There's a few other films as well that I haven't yet seen that came out earlier this year. Kiss of the Spider-Woman's another one that I haven't seen yet this year. And also as well there was, what else was there? Twisted, Redo, and there was also, there were some others as well. I'm trying to find where they were. But there was a few others that I haven't yet seen, and they are on my list. And I don't know where they've gone, which is handful, isn't it? Very helpful, isn't it? The Moment, yeah. Oh yeah, no, The Moment, Wasteman, The Bride, Shelter. Yeah, I've not seen those films, but I'm gonna watch them in the coming days and coming weeks. So I will do reviews of them on my movie wrap-ups in the future. It could be in the next couple of weeks or so. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there, okay? That there was a discretion that I haven't actually seen every single film that's been released in 2026 so far. But the films that I have watched anyway, those are in my top 20 films of 2026 so far. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'll be back on Sunday, 2nd of August 2026 at 6 PM UK time with my next episode of Movie Wrap Up. Until then though, goodbye. Thank you for watching. See you guys again in my next YouTube video.